Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Well, we're back for another week.
John, you made me break during the intro. I don't know why, just watching you bob up and down.
Bobbing
so
to the
you can hear in
music.
the intro that I'm kind of trying to keep it together to get through it.
Well, I can always go back and get the intro from last week and put it in there.
No, it's fine. I like it. I like doing the intro live every week. And then I always think, oh, we should really put our names in there so people know who we are. So I make sure to always say like, hey, John, how's it going?
Oh, we could always do the thing. Hi, I'm John. I'm an overeater and a foodaholic.
Hi, I'm Emily. I love carbs and I can't give them up.
There you
They
go.
are my lifeblood.
That's you. Been doing this for 27 weeks. So how was your week?
My week was filled with sharks. But what's funny is I think this is one of the only times where we've had two episodes where Shark Week didn't interfere with it. For those wondering what Shark Week is, if you're new to the show, it's the monthly lovely time for women once a month where diets go out the window and all we want are carbs and chocolate and for somebody to tell us we're pretty. So,
Aw, did
Yeah.
you get anybody tell you you were pretty?
well, we want somebody to tell us we're pretty just so we could bite their heart off and say, no, I'm not.
You know what? That is absolutely true. Not going to say why I know that. But yes, that is true. All right. So
let's talk about our weeks. I'm excited. Well, not excited, but
okay, you can be excited because sometimes something through tragedy comes motivation at times, right?
well, this was a John that was very reflective in your Facebook post when you posted this week about what happened. So do you want to go into letting people know what that was?
Yes. Somebody that I know, a friend, was divorced, and she had a husband who's my age, my weight, has bad knees and a bad back like I do, was basically immobile, kind of, sort of. And he didn't take his medication when he was supposed to. And he didn't take care of himself. And I'd lost touch with this friend. I hadn't been talking to her. And she sent me a text to see how I was and said that her husband had passed away suddenly overnight. And they found him the next day. And he lived alone. I live alone. And all those things that we had in common just kind of threw me. And for the first time in my entire life, I really, really considered my demise because of my weight, my condition. And I also came to the realization that I don't want to go. That things in my life have changed. Things are turning around. Things have been getting a lot better. I'm a lot happier. And that this is go time. Like, one of the things I always say about this podcast is the reason I come here and share and talk about the stupidity that I do on a daily basis is because maybe somebody in their 30s, mid 40s, even 50 years old will hear me and start their journey sooner than I did. And one of the things for me is, so maybe people will start to do this. And then in our Facebook group, we have people like Brendan and Michelle and, everybody else that are doing great things and changing their lives because they've dealt with this their whole life. So that being said, it was a tough week. And when I heard this, it was like a punch in the face. So for me, all I did that night was basically talk to people that I care about and, said goodbye. If something happens, I want to tell you. I want to say goodbye. I want to tell you I love you. I didn't do this on purpose. All right.
Yeah.
And I apologize for the trauma that if I suddenly pop off that I caused. Because I do realize that there are people in my life that care about me and love me and that, basically, I've done this to myself, and doing that, I am going to cause them trauma, grief. So that was the first part. The second part was, okay, you know what? It's time to stop. It's time to start taking your medication like you're supposed to be taking it, not when you feel like it, not when you remember, not, set alarms, make sure that you're doing this. It's time to, break up with your dirty little secret of fast food. It's time to, start preparing, do the things that you should do. Do the things that you say you want to do and knock it off. And then, being a podcast editor, one of the podcasts that I edit is called the Eating Disorder Recovery Podcast. And this week I was editing one where a lady was a doctor, her guest. Her guest was talking about a thing called connective eating. And connective eating is basically saying that you will go to the easiest thing that is available to you. And a lot of times you will make it so it's easier to go to the bad thing than the good thing. And she was talking about, she's a psychologist. It was last year after Halloween. She brought all the extra Halloween candy in and she put it in the break room, in the lunchroom. And she also had stuff in there to make a sandwich. And the thing was that because she had to take this, she had the stuff to make a sandwich. The sandwich wasn't made.
Yeah.
So she would have to take the cheese and put it on the bread and the meat and put it on the bread and throw a little whatever you want to put on there and then make a sandwich. But instead of doing that was like, I don't have time for that. I'll just grab candy. And she did that until she started to realize that that's a thing. And then she started to talk to other people. And then she started saying, listen, just take some time and make food available. So I spent 2 days so I get the Instapot out, blew the dust off the Instapot, and I Instapotted basically 30 eggs for egg salad.
Or to be Cool Hand Luke and challenge yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and had food and peppers. And I tried to make this thing. I was like, oh, you know what I'll do? Instead of the cheesesteak thing, I'll try using the pepper, half of a pepper, as like a taco shell and put like egg salad in there.
Yeah. Is it good? That sounds good.
It was horrible. No, it was horrible.
Oh.
So that wasn't good. But the cheesesteak thing was pretty good. So again, preparing and doing things like that and being mindful of what I'm eating and being mindful. And I'm not going to lie. It's been a rough week as far as my inner Grizz has been fighting me left and right about, go here. Here's another thing. All right. So in your younger years, you were a smoker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You could say that.
Okay. So when you got in your car or something like that, was that something that you first wanted to do?
Yep. Yeah. No matter what. It's like, turn the car on, and especially if it was the winter and you have to let it warm up, it's like, nope, first thing I do is light the cigarette. That was probably the hardest cigarette to give up. It's like I could give up the cigarettes slowly, the last one of the night, that was easy to let go of. I went cold turkey both days, but the ones I missed the most were the ones getting into the car and after meals.
So when I get into my redneck lawn chair or my pickup truck, the first thing I want to do is go get something to eat. It's the first.
Oh, wow.
I have that behavior ingrained in my head that, it's, you're in the truck. We should stop in and get a coffee.
Well, okay, coffee is one thing.
Oh, but they have donuts. Look at the donuts. Or maybe we should get the sausage, egg, and cheese thing and get rid of the bagel or something like that, but it's always like as soon as I get in the car, I have that Pavlov's, if I said it right, dog response to do something because I'm in the truck. So right now I'm fighting that. So it's these things, these little habits that we have, these little things that we do that kind of sabotage us all the time that we have to take on. So, the breakup with fast food is tough. I'm not going to lie. It's because I'm single. I don't want to make food. I don't want, I want to get out of the house. I don't want to be in this house 24/7. That's the reason why I excuse myself to go out and do this. So I've changed that this week. And I was shocked as we get into the weigh-in, I was really shocked about what happened. So sometimes something has to happen to really rock your world to make you motivated again. So, I mean, that's basically what happened this week.
That's a week.
That's a week.
Quite a week.
That is quite a week. And it was funny because I don't have, before, like I was saying earlier, not here, but before the pre-show, that I never really, for the longest time, I was like an atheist. And then there's times where things happen, like when I was in this distress, and all of a sudden a podcast comes in that's dealing with exactly what I'm dealing with. And I get to hear something that I would have never heard before. And then Brendan gives me a podcast to listen to was called the Human Performance Outliners podcast. And there's an episode of a doctor who was morbidly obese, and then he's gone through it and he knows what it's like to go through it. So now he's treating patients. And I thought to myself, wow, that's amazing. And he's in North Jersey. So I'm thinking about reaching out to him.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I have weird, I'm with you on religion as far as I'm not really religious, but if I were to believe in a god or gods, there is a music god who plays the song exactly that you need to hear at the right time. And there's also the things like that where, hey, something's going on with me, and you get all these signs and things coming to you for exactly that reason.
Yeah, it's like there's a force that is driving you or pushing you, and I don't understand it. And
we're not going to get all metaphysical, but
right. It's crazy.
But yeah, and one thing I was going to mention with the truck thing and with the habit thing, is there something I'm trying to think of something that maybe you can replace that with in your truck when you get in to form a new habit?
Right now, what I do is I take my wallet
and throw it in the back.
And throw it in the back seat. I throw it in the back seat because I will not get out of my truck and go get the wallet. So I don't have money to go stop somewhere.
Yeah.
And then when I get out of my truck, I have to go get my wallet and go in the house. But I throw it in the back. I have to throw it because I can't reach it. And it's really weird that I can't even trust myself. Isn't that weird how you can't trust yourself? Like, I don't know about you, me, I can't trust myself.
Yeah, there were some times this week where I was really needing to have a real sit down heart to heart with myself. Just like, no, you're not hungry. Can we actually think about why you want to go get this food or go into the kitchen and get this food? Is it because you're bored? Is it because you're procrastinating? Is it because you're tired? What is it that you need that you're trying to replace that with food? And I've had to do that a few times this week. And of course it's Shark Week. So it's like fighting with myself is like, fuck you. We are getting that cheese right now. And we are eating all of it just to spite this sane voice that's trying to talk you out of it.
Boy, if I could sing like Billy Idol, I would do that parody of Dancing with Myself to Fighting with Myself. Fighting with myself. Yes.
Yep. That's me. Every Shark Week is just fighting with myself. Yeah. And it was weird. And my husband and I were talking about it. We're back on, I don't know if I can even say back on. I don't think we ever went off of it. But it's really easy for us to do fast food lately because it's just
sure, they handed out a window.
Yeah. They handed out a window. We take our son for drives to put him to sleep so he can take a nap, and it's just easy to pick up lunch around that same time.
We're already out.
Yep. Wendy's has this deal. It's been going on for a while, but they have the 4 for $4 deal where you get
4 for $4.
It's and when you look at like the 4 for $4, it's like this is what I would pay kind of for lunch if I were making it myself. Probably about $4.
It might even be cheaper.
I know. That's a problem. But the thing is, we're finally sick of it. We are finally sick of everything on the Wendy's menu. We're finally sick of everything on the Taco Bell menu. We'll still eat it, but we're not excited about it anymore. It's not something that makes us happy. So what I found that we're going to try, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about it in a future episode after we've tried it, was a meal delivery service, but it's not one of those crazy expensive ones. It's not the ones that you hear on a lot of other podcasts, and they're also not our sponsor, but it's called Dinnerly, and it's $5 per meal instead of the 10, and they keep it cheap because First of all, they don't send you recipe cards. Everything is online. So you have to go online to look at the recipe. Fine. That's how I like my recipes anyway. That's how I do it. Plus, it's not a long recipe blog post where they tell me about their grandmother and their favorite casserole dish and how it's cold outside. And, oh, by the way, we're making this soup that you actually came here for the recipe. But the cards are online and it's super simple. And everything is something like 6 or 7 ingredients. And the thing is, all these things I could cook, but I don't have the mental capacity during the day to plan out my meals because by the time I've planned it out and decided this is what I want to eat, I'm sick of it and I'm going to make it and I'm going to get even more sick of it because I'm surrounded by the ingredients and I'm going to just be oversaturated with this food. By the time I put it on a plate, I'll be like, that was way too much mental energy for this food, which I think is mediocre. And honestly, I would have rather gone out for it. And that's the thing with, I think it has to do with ADD. If we're focused too much on something that's so mundane, like eating, it sucks. It sucks our energy out. We don't want to do all that thinking just for one meal, just for something that takes 10 minutes to eat.
Right.
It's bullshit. I'll say it right there. It's bullshit.
Right. And the other thing that they say, especially for someone that's an overeater, and a food addict like I am, that you should have mindful eating. So in other words, when you eat, you're supposed to chew and taste and all that. And there are plenty of times. All right, here we go. The overshare. Where I'll go somewhere. I'll go to Taco Bell. Let's just say Taco Bell. And I'll order 4 tacos. And I'll eat them so fast, I swore they only gave me 2. I'm like, wait a minute. There's no way. Just ate 4 tacos. And I
did. Or the mindless eating of French fries when you're driving from the drive-through back home, and you get home and you realize, oh my gosh, I thought I only had 3 or 4 French fries on the drive. I ate half the container already.
I got to ask you this question because I've never said this to anybody before. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's not. Have you ever got the extra French fry for the ride?
What is that?
So in other words, you're going to get stuff for your kids, for right? So you go, and you got to get 4 fries and 4 chicken McNuggets and 4 this and that, and then you get an extra fry that you eat on the ride home so you don't eat the fries from everybody else.
I haven't done that with fries, but I have done that at Taco Bell. My husband and I both do this thing where we'll go to Taco Bell, and if we're like really hungry and we can't make it the drive home because you can't eat a taco in a car. It's impossible, especially if you're the one driving. So we get a cheese roll up, which is just a tiny.
Right. I proved the fact that I can eat a taco in the car. I use the wrapper.
I've never eaten a taco without getting one piece on me. It's impossible.
Of course you're going to get a piece on you. That's impossible. I mean, even if I wasn't in the car, I would get a piece on me.
I know.
I use the paper. See, from eating cheesesteaks all my life, you take the paper and you wrap it around like a cheesesteak so you can eat the taco. There you go.
You try. You have good intentions.
Right.
But if they didn't shred my lettuce, I'd hate it. So keep doing what you're doing, Taco Bell. Don't worry about my shirts. I can always buy new ones. I'd rather buy new shirts than have a crappy taco.
Oh.
There's the quote for the episode.
I'd rather have new shirts than buy a crappy taco.
Yes, out of context quotes.
Right. So the thing for me right now is to kind of stay on plan, to keep food in the house, and to, when I leave the house, not to go immediately somewhere, or maybe take a snack. I'm not taking a snack. What am I going to do? Pack some almonds and take them with me? As a matter of fact, I'm breaking up with almonds too because
you're breaking up with them. Oh, because of
I can't. It's for some reason
angry bathroom time.
Well, that, and I think that even though as much as I try to chew them 40 times and make them into almond butter, that that I'm having problems with. My family has had in the past problems with diverticulitis, and I know from watching them, I don't want that. Mm-hmm. So there could be something. I mean, anything. You could pack anything to take with you, but it's not the same.
How about gum? How are you with gum?
Gum makes me more hungry. Gum's like yes, because my mouth is chewing and everything in my tummy's like, hey, when are you going to swallow? I know you're up there chewing. I can hear you. How about spreading the love? I don't know. So yeah, chewing a gum doesn't.
That's the best way to describe it. I swallow my gum. I'm one of those.
You do?
I'm a weird. I eat it. I don't eat it. I don't like put it in my mouth one piece at a time and
Right.
eat it like food. But if I'm chewing it, just because I'm so grossed out by gum on the sidewalk and gum on tables, like
Oh.
even if I throw it away, I'm like, no, I just rather swallow it and I'll deal with it later if I have to. I've never had to.
I'll deal with it later. If you have to deal with it later, you wish you never swallowed it.
I know it's never done anything. It's fine.
Okay.
All the studies have shown it's actually fine. It doesn't stay in your stomach for 7 years. It just
Thanks, Mom.
yeah, which is funny because it's like, why wouldn't you want your kid to swallow gum? Would you rather have him swallow gum or put it somewhere in your house?
Well, I think it's portion size. Like with us swallowing a piece of gum as an adult,
Yeah,
that's one thing. A kid, it's like swallowing a hamburger. You know, they're small.
yeah, that's
And
true.
the piece of gum is, a big size.
That's true.
So,
I also got sick of gum. I was in a play where I had to chew gum as part of my character, and I chewed it so much during rehearsals that I just got sick of gum. Like my jaw just
Yeah,
hates
your jaw
it. It's like,
starts to
no,
hurt.
why are you doing this to me?
yeah, mints sometimes work. Sometimes
Mints make me hungrier.
do
They
they?
don't work. Yeah.
I've been trying to drink more water. I actually have that in my former podcast cup. Oh,
Oh.
so for me, it's either do or die. It's do or die.
Yeah. Well, literally, you have to.
I just turned 57. I want to make it to 70. That's only 13 years. Can I do that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to live to 80 or 90, but let's be realistic here. There's a lot of miles on this body.
Now that it's Facebook official, you now have somebody who wants you around for a lot longer than that. On top of having your kids who want you around for a lot
the
longer
kids,
than
yes.
that.
And now, yes, right now I have someone that wants me around for a lot longer. Yes, that's true. And I appreciate that. And it's one of the reasons why I started this whole process to begin with. Yeah, it's been 5 months. It's been fantastic. And, I'm enjoying that. I never thought that was going to happen for me. So, yeah, I want to be here for a while. It's like if you get your whole house decorated the way you like it. I just got the things the way I like it. Now you want me to move?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So here's the question for our audience. What was it that made you, if you went out and had weight loss surgery or you lost, what was the defining moment? There's one thing, and everybody knows what it is. Tell us the one thing, and if you want it to be anonymous, we'll make it anonymous. Well, we only use first names anyhow, so really, how can anybody tell?
Yeah. That's one thing is we use
Right.
first
So,
names.
yeah, let us know. And then that way, maybe somebody else will say, you know what? It's time. Or, I hear what John said. I don't want the audience to go through what I'm going through for as long as I've been going through it. If I could go back to John, I would go back to 35-year-old John and say, hey, see, this is what's going to happen. Turn it around. You got plenty of time. And then maybe that would scare me into doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can scare other people. Scare. It's coming up on Halloween.
Scare.
Yeah, scare. Yes, sometimes scare. Sometimes we have to scare. Sometimes we have to see somebody like this poor gentleman that just met his demise. He scared the crap out of me. And thank you. Can you say that? I mean, that's horrible, but thank you,
Yeah.
because maybe this will give me some more years. And if not, sorry, people. I didn't mean to. Now I'm going to apologize to the audience. But so, yeah.
It's weird to say I think this is a good thing, but I also have seen you when you get a fire under your ass. That's when John gets something in his head and he goes for it. He doesn't pussyfoot around. He goes for it.
That is, yeah. I mean, it happened with podcasting. It happened for weight loss. The reason that I stopped what I was doing before was the binge eating was off the charts. And I talked to people about binge eating and they said, you can't diet if you're a binge eater. And I don't know if I'm praying that's not true, because I'm not restricting as much as I am adjusting what and when I eat. So I'm really not restricting.
Yeah. That's one thing with intermittent fasting that I like is for people with binge eating. If you're just doing intermittent fasting, which is what I'm doing, it's actually kind of nice to just have that 8 hours where I can if I want to. And that's pretty much now. If I binge eat for those 8 hours, I'm sure I'll put on weight if I'm eating the wrong things. But I'm not. My appetite doesn't let me binge eat really anymore. It kind of stops me after a while. Shark Week is another story. There was no bottom to that bag of goldfish that I was eating from the other night because it was just like, no, I want crunchy and I want salty. And this isn't good enough, but maybe the next goldfish will be. But
that was like my ketchup potato chip debacle. Could not stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm not lying. Had the bag tilted up at the end, shaking the crumbs in. Yeah. Like I said, let us know what you think. Elaine in the chat says she had weight loss surgery because she hit rock bottom. Was literally ready to die to lose weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. This whole thing has made me really rethink about maybe going back and doing the sleeve surgery.
Yeah.
But it terrifies me. It terrifies me on two fronts. Terrifies me about having to go under and have the surgery done. That terrifies me. Terrifies me. Number two is because I know I have a food addiction and I binge eat and I cannot trust myself. I can't trust myself. Did I tell you I get in a truck and throw my wallet in the back of the car? I can't trust myself. That's my issue. More than anything else, I can't trust myself. I know myself. I can't trust myself.
Do we want to have Michelle on soon to talk about her surgery?
We were going to have Michelle on, and unfortunately there was a family thing and she couldn't come on. But yeah, we could do that. We absolutely could do that.
If we can schedule that pretty soon, actually, that would be good. Maybe for episode 30, because we're on episode 27.
I will
Maybe
talk.
30.
See, the problem is that she's back to work now. So
Oh, right. Yeah.
that's the problem. She's not in here right. You can tell she's not in here right now. She'll watch it
That's
later.
true. Yeah.
But
Well,
unfortunately,
we'll work around your schedule, Michelle. But Michelle has been in our chat room. We watched her before she went through the surgery. We watched all the liquid diet stuff she had to go through.
I tried the liquid diet with her. That was horrible.
Yeah. And she has been amazing. And she's the one, she posts a lot of memes in the group. So get to know Michelle, everyone. She's awesome.
Yep.
We love her.
Absolutely. All right. How about some Winning Wednesdays?
Yes. Let's get into that. John, do you want me to read yours or do you want to read yours?
I'll read it. Okay. I'm breaking up with fast food. As you've all heard, I've done a lot of soul searching this week. No quit, no surrender.
Yeah. So no more fast food. We're going to get you cooking,
Yes.
planning your food.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I self-to-dude.
Jessica says, well, I did give in to the Cheetos craving, but I've been really well behaved otherwise, only as it relates to food choices. Let's not get too crazy here. And the scale is down a few pounds. So that's great. I'm weirdly glad you gave into that craving and now it's out of your system in a weird way. Like, I don't know. Not that I support giving into cravings, but if it's nagging at you for days, like just
Try to eat a little
yeah.
and try to take the pressure off. Don't go for the full binge. One of the things with the binge eating is what happens is it builds until you're like, I can't take it anymore. And then the next thing you know, there's fast food wrappers all over the place and shame. So yeah, maybe order one taco or whatever it is and then try a little bit. But I don't know. There's triggers. It's tough. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's tough. So
tough.
right. Elaine, her wedding ring fell off.
Wow.
There you go.
While she was hand talking.
Yeah, she thought it all of a sudden it flew off. So, and she recovered it. It didn't fall through the deck, which is good. So there you go.
Yeah. Angel fell in love with Wendy's chili. I love Wendy's chili too. And you know what? That is a win because it's really not that bad for you.
No, it's not.
All.
Matter of fact, if I was ever going to do a fast food anything, it would be Wendy's chili.
Yeah.
Because
you know the funny... Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. The funny thing about Wendy's chili?
The funny thing about Wendy's chili is it's made with leftover burgers.
Sure it is.
And some people get grossed out by that. I'm like, no, that's awesome. That's great. And chili is one of those foods that gets better the more days since it's been made.
Yes.
Third day chili is amazing. It's great.
You know who makes a good chili, and maybe I'll get her to do that for me, is my ex-wife actually makes good crock pot chili, and she used to come over here and like she would throw the stuff in. I cannot make chili. When I get done, I'm horrible. I'm a horrible cook. You would think that, just from sheer aggravation that I would get better at this, but I've attempted chili several times, and when I get done, it tastes like hamburger with tomato sauce. It's the grossest thing. And I love a good bowl of chili.
Do you get the chili packets?
I have the chili packets, the hamburger, I cook the onions and the peppers and I put everything together. I put it in the crock pot so it gets all happy. And when I get done, it's like, ugh, it's no good. It's no good. So I need to maybe, there is, if you go to the University of YouTube, there's plenty of ways to make Wendy's chili in the Instapot.
Oh,
there's recipes.
Oh, wow.
There you go. So I could make a Wendy's chili Instapot and see what happens. Let's try that.
I need a smaller recipe for chili. Mine makes chili for 8 servings, and I'm fine with leftover chili, but I can't do it for a third day in a row. Like I can't, not in a row, but like I can't do it for a third serving. Fine with the initial serving, the leftovers. But after that, I'm done with chili. I need something else. So
Adam says all restaurant chili is old burgers. Let me just tell you this. I love it when I get a Wendy's chili and there's like a quarter of a burger in there that they didn't ground up. Yeah. I'm like, that burger chunk.
I'm fine with that. You know what? And more burger places should offer chili. I'd be fine with McDonald's offering chili or Burger King offering chili.
Well, as long as they can make chili better than they make coffee, that's all I can tell you.
Who?
McDonald's coffee is horrible.
You don't like their coffee?
Horrible.
I don't like coffee in general, but I've never heard somebody not like McDonald's coffee. I keep hearing people love it.
Really? Well, they have this new thing with the frappe latte poofy stuff with all the sugar and the whipped cream. That's not really coffee. Their regular coffee's like, I don't know. It's horrible. All right, who's next?
Julianne.
Oh, that's me. Julianne says she gained a pound and she knows why, but she did go to the gym and swam this week, that's great. I have started weighing in on Wednesdays, and I've noticed my hunger and no hunger this week. Oh, there you go. So knowing when you're hungry and knowing when you're just bored. That's a great idea. That's great. There you go. There's a win.
Yay. Valerie says last week she ate pizza and buffalo wings and drank as much soda as she wanted. It sounds amazing. But the next day she felt awful and bloated and just sick. But so she's calling it a win because after she felt she has no desire to cheat anytime soon. And she's been eating much better and back on track after that. So that's amazing, Valerie. I have to do that every so often, is have like an all day binge fest to remind me, oh my God, this makes me feel like crap.
Yeah, it's like a food hangover.
Yeah.
The next day you feel, your stomach feels bad. It's horrible. But hey, there you go. Brendan says, I've been part of this group for 8 weeks now, and in that time, he's lost 5 kilograms, or 11 pounds, reduced his weight by 9 centimeters, 3.5.
Waist.
When I say weight?
Yeah.
Reduced my waist by 9 centimeters, 3.5 inches, and have drunk? It says drunk. Drank?
Past tense of drink.
Drunk?
Drunk over.
I have drunk only water. I should do this in a British accent if I could. This way it would sound better. Anything would sound better than the South Jersey accent. I've drunk only water with occasional green tea. Green tea makes me all jittery. Slow and steady, but everything is heading in the right direction.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yay, Brendan. I'm weird with tea. I don't like coffee. I've never liked tea. Tea tastes like dirt water to me. I have to water down my tea a lot to drink it because I want the benefits of tea. It just tastes terrible.
Okay, I'm going to put this in here, but so another podcast I deal with is a podcast about marijuana, and I record the episode for the client, and I also edit it. And the woman had really a lot of problems with arthritis in her knees. She had knee injuries, and she had arthritis in her knees. And what she used was marijuana tea.
Was it marijuana tea or was it CBD?
It's marijuana. She said marijuana tea, and I thought to myself, marijuana tea. How about that? Because like I said, I don't like smoking, or I would never smoke it or anything like that. But marijuana tea, I think I might try a little marijuana tea if it would help the knees. So I thought that was.
You're not going to like the taste.
Oh.
I can tell you that right now. You're probably not going to like the taste.
Maybe I could dress it up with a little bit of artificial sweetener.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Well, whatever. Anyhow, yes.
Michelle has lost 8 more pounds.
Wow.
Michelle, who we talked about before, she's so thankful and she feels healthier every day. Had she not had the sleeve surgery, she couldn't have done this. Yes, it's hard, but you still have to make good choices. But she couldn't go another year doing the yo-yo dieting. The restriction is the key for her, and she doesn't miss a thing. Eating is still enjoyable. She just requires less, and she would do it all over again in a heartbeat. So that's encouraging. That's really encouraging.
That is amazing. I'm not going to lie. When she was still telling me the one time that she had, for the first time, she had like 3/4 of a scrambled egg, and it was so great. And I was like, 3/4 of a scrambled egg?
3/4 would be like,
yeah. That's like my first forkful, to be quite honest with you. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of what scares me the most about the surgery. I know. I'm sick in the head. Victoria said, I don't want to jinx this, but I think I just got the exercise thing.
Yay!
Now, I don't know if the exercise thing is a product or just a bug to do exercise, or...
I would love that bug to do exercise. But what's funny was I was asked recently on another podcast I'm going to be on called Podcast Junkies, and Harry Duran said, what's one thing that you've changed your mind about recently? And I said, I didn't really think that exercise had to do with weight loss, but every time I add it in now with the walking, I end up losing weight. And I think it's a mindset thing. That was the thing I changed my mind about. So
I'm so jealous you're on Podcast Junkies. All right, there are Winning Wednesdays. Congratulations, everybody. You're doing a great job. And if you want to be part of our Winning Wednesdays, it's very easy to do. Go to hate2wait.com/Facebook. Join the group. You have to ask one question, which means you're not going to come in here and try to sell us your diet package, your coaching package, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we like the stories of people who have lost weight, and we're very happy to welcome you in. But if you're coming in to be like, hey, I just lost a bunch of weight, let me tell you how, and let me sell you something, yep. No thanks.
You'll go out of here like poop through a goose. We've never had to boot anybody out yet.
No. Well, now that you said that,
right.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. All right. So I think it's time.
It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for The Weigh-In.
Oh, it's me. It's Nod Week. All right. Again, Shark Week. I knew it was coming, especially the day with the goldfish that never ended. I'm up a pound.
That's not bad. I mean, as far as...
That's not bad.
Yeah, as far as... Shark Week, that's not bad at all. Yeah.
Shark Week, yeah. Yeah, I'll take that pound. It's easy enough to get rid of.
There you go. All right. So
How about you, John?
So as we said in the show, earlier in the show, did we say it before?
No, I think it was the pre-show.
Was the pre-show talking about this? I got on the scale and I had to say to Emily, can you do me a favor? Can you double check this? Because I think my scales broke or I did something wrong. But we went back and we went through things. I'm down 13 pounds this week.
Wow.
That's okay. Now let's unpack that a little bit because I did not lose 13 pounds of fat. Okay, that did not happen this week. So one of the things we've talked about this before, the whooshy pill. The whooshy pill is hard for me to take because when I take the whooshy pill, it's at least 4 hours of holy cow, I have to pee, and then running back and forth. And then what happens for me is you can't plan it. And you don't know when it's going to happen. And sometimes I'm in situations where I just can't dash to the bathroom, and I'm not ready for adult diapers yet. So, it's the thing is, like, a lot of times I'll say, I'll take it after this or I'll take it after that, and I never take it. So I've been lax in the whooshy pill. And when, what we talked about earlier, when I got that news, I realized that, I have to start taking my medication. And I took the medication. I've been taking it for the past 3 days. So I whooshied probably 2 gallons of liquid out of me. So that's what that was. But
the whooshy pill, by the way, is prescription only.
It's a prescription.
I asked.
Yeah, it's a prescription. But now I've heard, and I don't know if you know this, that turmeric is kind of the same thing as a whooshy pill.
Oh.
And there's a thing, I actually got this from Amazon. It's turmeric complex. It's turmeric, ginger, black pepper, and it's all vegan. And I was taking that too, and I noticed that had a whooshy effect also.
Huh.
And it's also supposed to be good for inflammation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyhow, turmeric is supposed to be good for inflammation.
I'll put that turmeric link in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll look it up on Amazon. I'll give you the Amazon link for it. It's really inexpensive. It's not hard to take. So there you go. So, and again, I'm not going to lie, 13 pounds off the knees, that's a big difference. That makes every 10 pounds you take off your knees is like taking 50 pounds. Or every 10 pounds you take off your body is like taking 50 pounds of pressure off your knees or something like that. It's amazing, the difference. All right. It's my best week. My worst week and my best week ever on the show.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well,
and hopefully we'll continue to do this. I'll continue to, don't expect for another 13 pounds next week because I'm going to keep up with the whooshy pill.
The funny thing is, John, you are like carrying our weight loss efforts. When I did the math yesterday or the other day for everything, I was like, wow, since starting the podcast, I've gone down 17 pounds. Meanwhile, our total is 56 pounds. So a lot of that's you.
Okay.
Most of that's you.
Well, again, it's not, percentage and weight loss is probably the same. I'm sure I weigh way more than you do. So percentage of weight loss, I think we're probably in the same area. I just have more to lose, and that's why it looks this way. But again, just even if you only, like I said, even if you just start I'm back to the one day at a time, one meal at a time, and just continue this thing and see what happens. I think going forward, I'm just going to try to make 25-pound goals. Like, in other words, I think I'm 2 pounds away from one 25-pound goal. So then I'll set another one and see how long it takes to get to there. So that's what I'm doing. And I really appreciate everybody that listens to the show. Thank you very much. I hope that you get something out of it, even if it's just some entertainment from a knucklehead talking about what he does and what he doesn't do. So there you go. And again, we are on all the social media platforms. Hate the Weight on Twitter, Hate the Weight, the Facebook group. And just come join us and hang out with us and tell us your story. We would love it. All right, Emily, ready for next week?
Yep.
All right, we'll see what happens next week, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. And then, again, the question is, what was it, that moment that made you either decide to get weight loss surgery or start a diet program and continue. And we're just appreciative of you, and we'll see you back here next week.
Bye.